24, Independent School District of Water. I have roll call. Joe Morales. Here. Martin Chapa.
Here.
David Garcia.
Here.
Joseph Ruiz.
Here.
James Glusing. James Glusing. Della Salinas.
Here.
Brian Kufal is present. Let the record show there is a quorum of board members present. That this meeting has been posted in accordance with Government Code Chapter 551, the State of Texas Open Meetings Act. We will now have a moment of silence, and it will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and Texas Pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
All right, this meeting is being live video streamed. Before we move to item number 4, adoption of the agenda, I'm going to make a recommendation that we move item 9, which is communication from administration. We'll have some students that we will be recognizing tonight to the beginning of the program so that they and their families can get on their way. And then we will follow that. We'll move number 9 to after item 5, before item 6, and then we will continue with the remainder of the meeting. So with that one adjustment, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Motion made by Mr. Morales.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Chapa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries 6-0. Item number 5, public participation. Ms. Pettis, do we have anyone that wishes to address the board?
No, sir.
All right. We would normally move to item number 6, but again, we're going to move to item number 9, which is communication from administration. Item 9A is recognition of KISD Special Olympic athletes. This can be found on page 7 to 9 of our packet. Mrs. Zimmerman.
Good evening. Tall, I broke it. There we go. There we go. I'm so tall, I broke it, sir. Sorry. Good evening, President Kufal, Dr. Pettis, and board. Thank you so much for having us tonight. I am Laura Zimmerman. I'm the Director of Special Education, and we are very excited to have our first group of students come up. Kingsville ISD Special Olympics, and the number of athletes participating in events this year has been growing. Our coaches and athletes have had an amazing and accomplished year. We're very appreciative of our head coach, Michelle Corrales, along, of course, with Melissa Gonzalez and Ed Gonzalez, our UIL track coaches, Relly Cantu and Eric Williams. We definitely also want to thank all of the teachers, paraprofessionals, campus coaches, and everyone who's helped train our athletes throughout all of these competitions. So our first group coming up, we don't want them to be shy. Feel free to come on up. On May 2nd, KISD actually held their second annual YAP Day. YAP stands for Young Athletes Program, ages 2 to 7. So they're learning how to become those special Olympians, just like our older kiddos. So as they come up, I'm just going to start calling out their names so that we can recognize this awesome group. From Harrell Elementary, teacher Vanessa Longoria, we have Josiah Salazar, Enrique Leander, Jackson Ramos, Alicia Vela, Benjamin Hayes, Logan Matney, Raina Rollinson. From Harvey Elementary, teachers Ms. Leha, Ms. Salazar, our long-term sub, and Sylvia Rodriguez Ozuna. We have Dallas Montalvo, Julian Guerrero, Royce Pita, Lillian Pedraza, Nora Torres, Landon Moore, Ezekiel Lewis, Josiah Cantu, Noah Flores, Gregory Hartgrove, Christian Hernandez, Marcellus Winston, Merritt Garza, Bentley Montalvo, Marcus Reddick, Jolie Beasley, Roman Villarreal, Chase Gottney, Cedric Chase, Liam Garza, Preston Haynes, Tegan Colette Ragon. At Pettis Elementary, we have teachers Ms. De La Garza, Ms. Getz, and Mr. Miles. For our students, we have Benjamin Garcia, Josiah Garcia, Trayvon Garcia, Liam Pavon, Christian Pavon, Javeli Trevino, Darren Vecchio, Brielle Vela, Darian Vecchio, Sophia Pettis, Jackson Ramos, Jax Castillo, Zion Clark, Avella Griffin, Alistair Martinez, Mateo Jojas Jenkins, Bryson Johnson, Zaul Ramirez, Jeza Taylor, Persephone Benavides, Andrew Hernandez, Trayvon Garcia, and Joanna Montalvo. So they are amazing. We're going to take a quick picture, guys. You're going to do it all of this? Okay. All right. So I don't want to forget the older ones. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm sorry. We had so many little ones. Special Olympic athletes, ages 8 and up as well. Now I see. Okay. KISD Special Olympic athletes, ages 8 and up, had a very exciting year as well. The school year began with a new sport called disc golf, followed by bowling competition. Then athletes competed in basketball skills and team competition, in which KISD hosted this successful event with over 500 student athletes attending and competing from surrounding school districts. KISD athletes then competed in the regional Special Olympic basketball meet at Tamuth, placing second. Recently at KISD, Olympians also competed in the track and field and tennis competitions. The unified track team was awarded area champs, placed at regionals, and qualified them to participate in the state UIL unified track meet in Austin, Texas for the second time. We were so proud. In addition, we also had the Heart of the Brahmas cheerleaders. Not only did our Heart of the Brahma cheerleaders compete in some of those events as well, but they also cheered along all of our athletes during these mini sporting events. Heart of the Brahma cheerleaders are Destiny Fuentes, Ariana Muniz, and Kelly Reyes. Congratulations to all the athletes for their hard work, training, and competing throughout the school year. We really look forward to an exciting year. And so with that, Harvey Elementary teachers Amy Garcia and Ms. Leja. Students are Lillian Arriaga, Zoe Hernandez, Jace Garcia, Jomar Rivera, Reina Barada, Faith Norpato, Javier Garces, Eve Morales, William Guyona, Leonardo Perez, Leo Perez, Joe Anthony Pais, Jacob Garza, Lisbel Trevino, Enzo Ruff. Harrell Elementary, we have teacher Ms. Vanessa Longoria, Pablo Lara, Xavier Mulligan, Julian Villarreal, Christopher Espinoza Jr., Dionisio Sanchez, Matthew Matney Jr., Lillian Trevino. At Pettis Elementary with Ms. De La Garza, we have Ruben Vasquez. At Gillette Middle School with Ms. Sanchez and Ms. McCowan, we have Jacinda Garcia, Mackenzie Cavazos, James Hessler, Bradley West Garcia, Xavier Gomez, Cameron Anderson, Malin Gonzalez, Caden Wright, Brianna Kent, Layla De La Paz, Michael Lotta. And at H.M. King High School with Ms. Teacher Debbie Rosas, we have Martine Chapa, Christopher Bean, Aiden Castillo, Jaden Herrera, Cesar Pettis, Antonio Solis, Gaspar Ramirez, Isaac Buenteo, Andrew Bustamante, Maddox Gomez, Michael Suarez, Isabel Pettis, Xavier Vaca, Isaac Buenteo, Martha Aguilar, Diego Carrion, Jonathan Gutierrez, Robert Neves, Kelly Reyes, and Maximino Martinez. So congratulations.
And they waited so nicely. Here we go. You ready?
Melissa Gonzalez and Michelle Gonzalez, thank you all so much.
All right, we're going to move now to item number 9B, which is recognition of H.M. King High School UIL academics team. This can be found on page 10 of our packet. Dr. Bessel.
Okay. Good evening, President Kubal, Dr. Bettis, and members of the board. After adjusting the mic, I'm ready to go. So this is our recognition of H.M. King High School UIL academics team. First, we'll have the calculator application, who is coached by Martin Perales. And we'd like to recognize 7th place winner, Damian Sutherland. Damian, come on forward. Great. Congratulations. Calculator applications, a future CFO for Kingsville. The next person we have for our current issues and events was coached by Herman Rios Jr. So at 8th grade place, we have Kaylee Bautista, and 9th place is Heather Hernandez. Please come forward. Congratulations. Okay, thank you. Next, we have our literary criticism coached by Adrian Benavides. 6th grade, Damian Sutherland also is being recognized as a regional alternate for Kingsville. Next, we have mathematics coached by Martin Perales, which is 2nd place winner, Damian Sutherland. He will also be advancing to the regionals. Damien, just stay up there, please. Next, we have our science recognition, is coached by Corey Scarborough, and it's 5th place, Damian Sutherland, as a regional alternate. Oh, Damien. For social studies, which was coached by Herman Rios Jr., we have third place winner, Kaylee Bautista, who's advancing to regional. Great job, Kaylee. Our spelling students who are coached by Christina Truelove. 10th place winner is Damian Sutherland, and the 11th place winner was Morgan Perkins. So Damian, come back up here and take a picture. Okay, thank you. And this concludes all of our UIL academics team. Let's give them a big round of applause. They worked hard. Thank you to their coaches and their parents.
Thank you, Dr. Bessel. All right, We will now move to item number 6, which is canvass and certified school trustee election returns. Dr. Pitts.
Thank you, Mr. Kufal. On May the 4th, 2024, we had our school board elections for places 4, 5, 6, and 7. The results are displayed on the screen. There was one additional vote, if you see in the postmark/provisional column, that was required to be added if someone postmarks their ballot by mail before Election Day, but it's received after Election Day, it still needs to be counted. So we convened a ballot board to count that one additional ballot you see in that column that says postmark/provisional. You see the final vote total in the last column. I will take any questions that you have. The board does need to approve this to canvass the results.
All right, board, we've seen the presentation and the numbers. Is there a motion to approve, certify the election results?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Garcia.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Chapa. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries 6-0. Item number 7, certificate of office, statement of officer, and oath of office for newly elected and re-elected officers of the Kingsville ISD School Board Trustee election. Dr. Pitts.
Thank you. Judge Pete De La Garza will come up and be administering the statement of officer and the oath of office for those 4 places. If we could have the candidates come down, please.
Ready? When I say I, you repeat your name. Just spell your name, okay? I
David Garcia,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I have not directly or indirectly
that I have not directly or indirectly
paid,
paid,
offered,
offered,
promised to pay,
promised to pay,
contributed,
contributed,
or promised to contribute
or promised to contribute
any money or thing of value,
any money or thing of value,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office
or employment
or employment
for the giving
for the giving
or withholding of a vote
or withholding of a vote
in the election
at the election
at which
at which
I was elected,
I was elected,
or as a reward
or as a reward
to secure my appointment
to secure my appointment
or confirmation,
or confirmation,
whichever the case may be,
whichever the case may be,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I solemnly swear or affirm
I solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the
of
duties
the office of the school board trustee
of the office of the school board
of the
trustee
Kingsville Independent School District
of the Kingsville Independent School
of
District
the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will do the best of my ability
and will do the best of my
to
ability
preserve,
to preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States
of the United
and
States
of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. You are officially school board.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you.
We will ask Mr. Jake Pettis to take his seat on the dais. Before we move forward, I would also like to publicly thank Mr. James Flusing for his service as a board trustee the last 4 years. We do have a plaque that we will be getting to him at a later date. But at this time, we welcome Mr. Pettis, and we will continue with the meeting. All right, the next item that we have on the agenda is the election of school board officers. As is our custom and as is required by legal policy BDAA, the first meeting following an election requires that we establish a slate of officers. So at this time, we will be electing a president, a vice president, and a secretary. We will take them in that order. At this point, I will open nominations to the floor and state that nominations are now in order for the office of board president.
Brian, I'd like to nominate you as president.
All right, Mr. Chapa has nominated Brian Kufal as the office of president. I will accept that nomination. Are there any other nominations? If not, do I hear a motion that nominations closed and that Mr. Kufal be elected by acclamation? Motion made by Mr. Morales. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Ruiz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
No.
Mr. Kufal will continue as president of the board by a 5-2 vote. We now move to the nomination for vice president. Nominations are now in order for the office of vice president.
I'd like to nominate Joseph Ruiz for vice president.
Mr. Morales has nominated Joseph Ruiz for vice president. Are there any other nominations? If not, do I hear a motion that nominations cease and that Mr. Ruiz be elected by acclamation? Motion made by Ms. Salinas.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Morales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Mr. Joseph Ruiz will be the board vice president by a vote of 7-0. Nominations are now in order for the office of secretary.
I'd like to nominate Mr. President, Delma Salinas for Secretary, KISD.
Mr. Garcia has nominated Delma Salinas as secretary for the office of secretary, for the office of board secretary.
David, as much as I appreciate that, I can't take it.
Ms. Salinas has declined the nomination for secretary of the board. Are there any other nominations?
I'll nominate Mr. Mireles.
Ms. Salinas has nominated Joe Morales as secretary of the board. Mr. Morales, will you accept that nomination?
I want to pass on the nomination.
Mr. Morales would like to not be nominated for secretary of the board. Are there any other nominations? I'll nominate Mr. Martin Chapa as secretary of the board. Mr. Chapa, will you accept the nomination?
I do accept.
Are there any other nominations? Do I hear a motion that nominations cease and that Mr. Chapa be selected as secretary of the board?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Ruiz,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Morales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Mr. Chapa will become the board secretary by a vote of 7-0. All right. We move now to item number 10, which is new business. Discussion and possible action regarding H.M. King Vocational Building's roof replacements. This can be found on page 11 to 12 of our packet. Dr. Pitts.
Thank you, Mr. Kufal. we went out for roofing bids and we had 7 companies that submitted a bid. You see the 7 companies there. We rated them on 3 different categories. One was the price, which was 50%. Second was experience and reputation, which was 35%. And the third one was timeline, 15%. This is a time-sensitive project. The goal is to, as much as possible, finish the roof replacements before next school year starts. We are talking about vocational buildings A and B, so the one that is adjacent to the parking lot, and then the one that is adjacent to the tennis courts as well too. You see the scores for all the bids. I will take any questions you might have.
Dr. Pitts, back in, when we first started the budget for 2023-24, we had a total of, was it 900,000 that was projected? So now we're under at 700,000, is that correct?
We originally started at 650,000. That was for a roof replacement and basically a roof repair at Memorial. But then we noticed that vocational building B, we did an infrared study and noticed that it needed a complete new roof. And at that time, it was close to that $900,000 figure. When we saw that it was that much, we knew that we were over budget. So what we did was we limited the scope to the 2 most serious buildings, which right now is vocational building A and B. So that is a new roof on both of those buildings. Memorial right now, we have pushed to next year. That was just supposed to be repairs. We also did an examination there, and as it turns out, the cafeteria and the gym roof there need really a roof replacement instead of a roof repair, so that will have to wait for next year's budget. But right now we are essentially getting, for $50,000 more, 2 new roofs than we had budgeted for, 1 roof and 1 replacement when we did the budget planning in August.
Refresh your memory, was this the one with the server? Is this a different, same building out?
The building A has the server, the one that has the whole electrical panel and conduits. And then building B is the one that has our automotive, special education, ROTC, and audiovisual as well. And again, we had originally tried to do a repair of that roof, but again, after doing the infrared scan, it is completely sogged in that building, and it does need a new roof as well. These are the two buildings that are leaking right now, that really need a new roof. Repairs won't do at this time.
We, several years ago, hired a roofing consultant that kind of reviews all of our roofs and helps us set our priorities and see what we need to do. Has that firm been involved in this process?
Yes, they have been involved every step of the way, and they met with Dr. Sandoval and myself and Mr. Davila through this whole process.
By using them, we get some kind of warranty or at least some kind of support.
Yes, it'll be a warranty, and again, they were the ones that devised all the specifications and helped us as well, pretty much with any technical advice we needed along the way.
So with the new roofs, do we know what the warranty is, Dr. Pitts?
Do you know, Dr. Sandoval? I think it was 30 years.
45 to 30.
Mhm.
These are flat roofs, are they not?
I believe so, Dr. Sandoval.
They are flat, but I understand. They are flat, but I believe they are going to slope them. And that's part of the project, is to slope them up so that there's a better drainage there in that area.
And as far as, are we expecting any overages? Possibly, will there be any overages, or is this gonna be a set price on these roofs?
So our recommendation with overages is that the board set aside an amount. What is recommended by our consultant is 5%, just in case, so that we will not, because what could ultimately happen is they could tear off the roof and they could find that there's more extension damage needed there. If the board also approves a 5% retainage or overage, then that way we don't have to bring it back to the board up to that 5%. And that's what our consultant has recommended.
If they're sloping the roof, why would it be necessary to tear off what's underneath? I'm just asking.
There was extensive damage done to CT Building B. With all the rain that it holds, every time it rains, it just compresses more. It's holding more water, and it's also damaged the insulation. So that roof will have to be replaced in terms of all that underlayment and everything. So we can't just go over the old current roof. It's not like a typical, house roof where you can go over shingles twice, maybe 3 times, but this you gotta replace. You gotta either repair it or you gotta replace it.
So the tolerance would be 35,000.
Correct.
Are there any other questions from the board? If not, administration is recommend that we approve CS Advantage to complete the H.M. King vocational building roof replacement projects as presented. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Garcia, seconded by Mr. Chapa. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries 7-0. All right, the board's now going to enter into closed session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.071 and 551.074 to deliberate and consider the following. A, consider and deliberate regarding resignation of contracted employees. B, consider and deliberate regarding employment of contracted personnel. C, consultation with legal counsel regarding legal and personnel matters. No action will be taken until we return to open session. We are entering closed session at 6:02 p.m. return to open session and take necessary action on matters which the board may discuss in open session and upon which action may be taken. We are returning to open session 6:39 PM. Item A, discussion and possible action regarding resignation of contracted employees.
Administration recommends that the Board of Trustees approve the resignations as discussed in executive session.
All right, board, you've heard the recommendation of the administration. Is there a motion to approve the resignations?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Ruiz,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Garcia. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries 7-0. Is there any other action that needs to come before this board? There being no further action, I declare this meeting adjourned 6:39 PM.